Disturbing facts that will probably disturb you even if you're not easily disturbed. Part 44. I want to go ahead and throw out like a trigger warning for this particular video. This one is going to be a little bit intense, so if you are easily triggered, please keep it moving. Vasily Blokhin, who was Stalin's chief executioner, holds the grim distinction of directly killing the most people. During the Katyn massacre alone, he personally executed 7,000 individuals. When pregnant women die, gases expelled during decomposition can expel the fetus, resulting in a phenomenon known as coffin birth. This is a photo of Hitler Youth captured during the last days of World War II. These children were meant to be the future of Nazi Germany, and instead they became its last events. Oksana Malaya experienced severe neglect from her parents and was raised by their pet dogs. As a result, she adopted canine behaviors, crawling on all fours instead of walking. She was unable to speak and communicated primarily by barking. You gotta have some real shitty parents for a dog to be a better parent than you. Though he was known to many as a nice guy who was able to easily charm countless women, Sean Great was eventually revealed to be a brutal killer who murdered at least 5 victims. You know, it's really funny, it seems like a lot of the times the most depraved killers are the most charming ones. Leads me back to my previous videos. Psychopaths are generally very, very charming. Very, very sociable, very easy to get along with. December the 6th, 1969 pretty much marked the end of the 60s. A free concert organized by the Rolling Stones ended up with 4 deaths, one of which was a murder at the hands of the Hells Angels. Also, a hit was ordered on Mick Jagger. And he's still kicking it. I don't think anything can kill Mick Jagger. That man's like Ozzy Osbourne, dude. He'll live forever. In 1781, the crew of the British slave ship Zong murdered about 142 African slaves by dumping them into the sea to claim the insurance. This is a pamphlet for the World Trade Center from 1982. Years later, in 2001, 2,606 people died in the World Trade Center on 9/11. This is a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. with his son pulling up a burnt cross from the front lawn of his Atlanta home in April of 1960. In 1984, Gary Plausch tracked down the kidnapper who sexually assaulted and molested his 11-year-old son and killed him on live television. Gary waited in disguise at the airport and shot the kidnapper while the cameras were rolling. He was given a 7-year suspended sentence and received no prison time. That video, you can actually see it on YouTube, like uncensored. It's very sad because it kind of ruined the relationship between the father and the son that he killed the man over. There's a book about it. The Sashimi Murder Suicide, which was a comic published in 1874, was about a jealous wife who kills her husband's mistress, carves out her genitals, and serves them as sashimi to the ignorant husband. While he eats, the wife then kills herself. This story really just makes my blood boil, okay? This is a picture of George Junius Stinney Jr., who was the youngest American to be sentenced to death and executed. They had to sit him on a Bible because he was too small for the electric chair. Stinney was accused of killing 2 young Caucasian girls. Now, Stinney's murder conviction was vacated in 2014, 70 years after he was executed, with a South Carolina court ruling that he had not received a fair trial and was thus wrongly executed. Investigations suggest that the only piece of evidence was a handwritten confession written by Stinney himself, but according to a fellow inmate that was in prison at the same time as Stinney, the boy said that he was coerced into writing the confession, he did not have any parental guidance, and he maintained his innocence. Sounds very Emmett Till-y, if you ask me. In 1998, Tom and Eileen Lonergan were accidentally left behind 25 miles off the coast of Queensland during a scuba diving trip. It took 2 days for anyone to notice they were missing, and the couple was never found. Most assumed that they drowned or were eaten by sharks. I like to think that they somehow made it to a deserted island with just the 2 of them, and they now live happily ever after, not having to worry about bills, taxes, or other people. What I like to think is the original song where the upbeat melody does not match the lyrics, kind of like pumped up kicks. The song I Don't Like Mondays by the Boomtown Rats was based off of Brenda Spencer, who shot up an elementary school at age 16, killing 2 and injuring 8 people and a cop. When questioned why she did it, she simply said, "I don't like Mondays." I don't like Mondays either, but that's not the answer. Caffeine and anxiety medication is the answer. In 1969, Muriel McKay was kidnapped and held ransom for $1 million by a pair who had mistaken her for Anna Murdoch, who was the then wife of media mogul Rupert Murdoch. She was never seen again, and it's assumed that her remains were fed to pigs or dogs. If you didn't know, pigs will eat anything. Anything. This is a picture of a man with schizophrenia before and after his lobotomy. Ema Grace, a notorious Nazi concentration camp guard during World War II, gained infamy for her brutal conduct. leading to numerous accusations. Known as the hyena of Auschwitz, Grace's reputation was marked by extreme cruelty and sadistic behavior. At first glance, doesn't she look like a little bit like Elizabeth Moss? Just me? There is something called the pratfall effect. It's where highly competent individuals tend to become more likable after committing mistakes, while average seeming individuals tend to become less likable even if they commit the same mistakes. So I feel like it's basically like you're looking at this intelligent person and you're seeing them as kind of arrogant, and then they make a mistake and it kind of knocks them off their high horse and brings them down to your level. But then you have this average person and they're already on your level, so when they make a mistake, they become a Neanderthal. That's my theory. This is a massive traffic jam in China that occurred in August of 2010. It stretched over 100 kilometers on the Beijing-Tibet Expressway and lasted for 10 days. 10 days! Can you imagine? And I thought Dallas traffic was bad. This is a picture of a tourist trapped in the sky on a Chinese glass bridge after the floor panels blew out. God, just take me. This is a terrifying comparison of the tentacles of the giant squid and the tentacles of the colossal squid. The giant squid is meant for painful latching, while the colossal squid is meant for ripping apart. On November 13th, 2001, Michael Blagg reported his wife Jennifer and 6-year-old daughter Abby missing. As it turns out, Michael had murdered Jennifer and Abby remains missing to this day. Do you guys remember my my long disturbing facts compilation? 30% of all people reported missing and found dead were killed by the person who reported them missing. It goes to show you can never know a person, no matter how long you've been with someone, no matter how well you think you know them. Everybody has secrets. Oh. Thanks for watching.